All right, welcome everybody to an urgent message by Bishop R.A. Campbell on the truthmadeplain.com. We have a very urgent message. We want you all to tune in. We want you all to share this right now on Facebook. We're on Facebook Live. Share it on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Share it with all your social media outlets because we're live right now, in effect, on the truthmadeplain.com. And we got an urgent message from Bishop R.A. Campbell. And if you have any questions, feel free to go to the bottom of the page on the truthmadeplain.com site and fill out the contact form with your question or use the chat bubble on the site. You can also ask your question in the Facebook Live comment section. All right, and I'm Elder Rick Johnson, and I'm going to introduce Bishop R.A. Campbell with the urgent message on the Truth Made Plain. How you doing, Bishop?
Doing very fine, and we are coming on. Now, we're supposed to come on at 1 o'clock, but we had a situation going on where we couldn't come on at 1. But we're on there at 3, so call those who may thought we was going to be on at 1 and let them know that we're on at 3. Now, we have to understand we're in the end time, and the situations that's going on in our society that's still holding us back somewhat. But it's going to be all right. We're at this election. We're hoping and praying that this election is the most important election that modern man is having. Now, when I say modern man, I'm talking about these young people that's coming up, that's in the United States and around the country, that we've been here in North America from 1619. That's when we got here at 1619, but we wasn't settled down until George Washington came 250 years ago and set up the United States, that Columbus told them that he found, which he didn't find nothing anyway because some people was already here. But he just thought he was in India because they was trading with India with tea. Europe was trading with with India. And so he thought the earth was flat, and he ended up over here in North America. But anyway, we are the end time people, and we got to understand that it's almost time for America to be completely shut down, and the kingdom of God will be set up. Because he said all these kingdoms will be come down, and then we'll be in the kingdom of God. So we're glad to have you on today with us. We hope we'll say something that will benefit you. But this is a very important election, and we have some questions that we're going to answer for you before we get into this great lesson. Brother Rick, was there any questions that was left from the last programs that we've been having that we never answered for the people?
Yeah.
They give me one of those. So give us a few of those questions first, and we're going to answer them for our listeners.
All right, here's one. What do you think about the new mask mandates?
The new mask?
The mask mandates.
Oh, the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mask. Well, my opinion is that until the Most High is satisfied with the bad behavior that's been going on in America, I would tell you to keep the mask on. Because the reason you're wearing the mask is because of the sins that America has committed, and then the worst sins they committed was them where they made sin legal. You can't make sin legal. They made it legal to sin by passing the same-sex marriage law and the abortion law. So it's legal to a man to marry another man and a woman to marry another woman and to kill the babies in the 8th month. So I would wear the mask if I was you until they get rid of that. The Most High just give them a break. We don't know which one will take place. Now, we know it's going to take place if the Democrats get in, because they're the ones that made it legal anyway. And so they are going to keep it legal for a man to marry another man and for a woman to marry another woman, and for them to kill babies in the womb. And now they got another thing going where these kids they're allowing these kids to choose what sex they want to be. Do you want to be a boy or a girl? So they got so much filth going on. If I was you, I would keep my mask on until some of this stuff that they done made legal change. Now, the President Donald Trump is trying to change it if he get enough votes on the Supreme Court. But that's going to be rough because the people love sin. Once you legalize sin, folk love sin because sin is pleasure. So the answer that I would give you, that if you want to know right from wrong and want to keep from dying, keep the mask on until God has made the move that he needs to make, and that is to show us mercy. So I would keep it on. I would answer that. All right, there's another question.
Well, yeah. So are you endorsing Trump for the November election?
Yes, I'm endorsing President Trump. I'm doing it 100% because not that he's so great and all this, that he's so great and he's so squeaky clean, but he's at least trying to get rid of the thing that is causing these plagues. He's trying to get rid of same-sex marriage and put it back in the closet where it was at. And also killing these babies. He wants them to stop killing babies in the womb. So I got to make the choice that God would make. And God said in the book of 3 John, whosoever support that bad behavior, they're partakers of their goods. God choose you to be a partaker of the wicked stuff they're doing. So I have to vote for Trump. I said Trump is the one that needs to get back in and keep on trying to make America great again. Yes, sir, I endorse him. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Is there another one?
Yeah. Are we going home before Yeshua returns?
No. We're going to stay right here until Yeshua return. Yeah. Excuse me. Yes, we're going to stay right here because he's the one got to take us home. We can't go home without him. He said the deliverance coming out of Zion to turn away on God and son Jacob, and that's Yahshua Messiah, who is Christ. Christ is the one going to take the children of Israel back to their own land. And so, no, we're not going nowhere till Christ comes. Nowhere at all. We're going to be right here waiting on him to come. So that'd be the answer to that. Is there any more?
Yes. Are your lessons for the church or natural Israel?
My lesson is for the New Testament church and also natural Israel. My lesson is for the whole 9 yards of what has taken place from the time Israel became a servant because of their bad behavior. So I'm teaching all the way across the book. I'm teaching from Genesis to Revelation. And I'm teaching the mark of the beast. I'm teaching all these things that the Most High has prophesied in his Bible concerning to the end time message. That's dealing with the European Union, with radical Islam, and everything else that is contrary to the Most High. All the plagues in the book of Revelation, I'm teaching the whole 9 yards. So that's what I'm doing. Any other question?
Please explain Luke 24:44.
Read it out loud for me and I'll explain it.
Okay. It says, and he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled which are written in the law of Moses and in the prophets and in the Psalms concerning me.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm teaching. I'm teaching all the things that concern the man they call Jesus Christ, who actually was Emmanuel, the Son of God, and everything that was said concerning him, I'm explaining it thoroughly so everybody understands it. That's what I'm doing. So that's what I do every Sabbath day when I come on. And that's what I'm doing now, explaining what he was all about, and what he did, and how he did it, and how he's going to close out the dispensation of the human family. So I'm teaching all that. All right, is there any more?
Why is Israel so important to the Most High?
Well, the reason Israel is so important to the Father is because they are his inheritance. He said, I do not own everybody. I created everybody, but I don't own everybody. But I own Israel. I took Israel as a possession. The rest of the people, I love them, but I don't own them. They can go their own way and do what they want to do, but Israel got to do what I tell them to do. Lest I will continue to punish them, because I chose them as my own inheritance, according to the 16th chapter of Ezekiel. So that's the reason Israel can't do what the rest of these heathens do. They must dwell alone and not be numbered with the nations, because they exclusively belong to the Most High. The rest of these people, they can receive salvation, but they're not his inheritance. You know, so that's the reason that he ain't going to let Israel get by with nothing, because he chose them as his inheritance, a kingdom of priests. He said, I chose y'all to be a kingdom of priests, to go into all the world and teach people what I'm all about, who I am, how I look, how I talk, what I believe in. They're his representatives, the children of Israel. Hallelujah. Thank God. I'm one. All right, is there any more before we go into this lesson?
No, that's it.
Okay, well, we're going to be back. Anytime you have a question, always send it in to Elder Rick, and he will record it, and I'll answer it for you. Now, we got in here again, as I said, we in the plague has been going on now, and I want to explain something about this virus, this plague that's going on, that's killing people. They done killed over 160 million now. 160 million people have died already from this plague. Now, the Most High don't have to stop it because, why? America is not in biblical prophecy. America is not in the beast power. The beast power that's getting ready to come on the scene, America, if we kept out, Britain and America will be kept out of the beast power. And the reason they'll be kept out is because they got to serve black Israel for the bad treatment they gave them. They went overboard towards black Israel. They showed them no mercy. Britain and the United States showed black America, which is black Israel, no mercy. So they're going to be kept out of the beast power, because all those that go into the beast power will be destroyed. And God don't want to destroy America or Britain. That's when Britain had to come out of the European Union, because he don't want to destroy them. They got to serve Israel for 1,000 years. Now, let me read that to my listeners so they won't think I'm making it up out of my own mind. Go to Isaiah the 14th chapter, verse 1 through 4. And that'll tell you what America and the reason God is keeping them out. The reason God is keeping them out is this right here. So he can let this plague go on over here in America until as long as he won't let it go on, because they're not in no other prophecy at all. And this is when this is over with America, this is in them, and they'll be going home with black Israel, who is this so-called Negro. My God, he is in bad shape, you know. I just heard everybody on there talking about that we so backwards that we only have one way we going. You know, everybody else can be flexible somewhere. Like we are a bunch of little children there, which we are in mind, because of the bad treatment and the slavery that we've been under. So let's read Isaiah the 14th chapter, verse number 1.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel.
Did you hear that? The Lord gonna have mercy on you so-called black Israelites here in North America and in Britain and wherever. He gonna yet choose you. He gonna yet bring you back as the apple of his eye. His world without end. You're written on his walls, he said. So he said, I'm going to yet choose Jacob, and I'm going to yet choose Israel. Now, Jacob, that was his old name. His name now is Jacob. He wrestled with an angel. The angel changed his name to Jacob. I changed Jacob's name to Israel, and told him he got power with God and man and have prevailed. So God said, I'm going to yet choose Jacob, and I'm going to yet choose Israel. Read on what he said.
And set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Did you hear that? They going to set us back in our own land. We ain't know. We got a land. We ain't just somebody they picked up on in the jungle somewhere and brought them to America. We are a special people, and we was a special people when they picked us up. We was not marked up with tattoos and all this dumb stuff, bones and nothing in our face and nothing. We was an unmarked people, had on bunnies and long, beautiful white clothes. And they stripped us buck naked and brought us here to England, London, and then George Washington brought us here to so-called North America, the United States. So he's going to yet choose us, put us in our own land. You go back to your own land, but you can't go nowhere until Yahshua comes. You're just going to stay here and be a slave psychologically. You know, voting for these devilish Democrats. You know, and I see what Donald Trump sent a text message saying that you ain't, Biden ain't worthy to be over you. Well, I could have told him that 75 years ago. These Democrats that's using you, taking advantage of you, you know, they know you don't know nothing, but so they just take advantage of you and say, if you ain't got no choice, if you ain't black if you don't vote for me, he said. You ain't got no choice. Well, we do have a choice. Choose you this day whom you going to serve. You ain't got to serve the Democratic Party. And stay away from the vote. They ain't going to give you nothing anyway. You're going to get the same thing if you stay down and don't do nothing. You're going to get trickled down stuff from wealthy white folks that they don't want to use. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get a job from them if you got good manners. That's what you're going to get. You understand? So you ain't got this to be pushed around like some little kindergarten child by Biden, you know. So they're going to choose this. And now we don't show that he says that. He's going to do what? They're going to choose him, and they say what?
And
he's going to choose Jacob. He's going to choose us again. Now, read on.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
So you see that? They're going to rule over England and the United States, because they're the ones that depressed us. They're the ones that did this meanness to us, and we're going to take them home, and they're going to be our servants for 1,000 years. And they're going to be obedient, too. That's our Father going to take care of it. They don't obey. Said the nation that won't obey us will be utterly wasted. So that's the reason that this plague can go on and on and on and on and on in America, because the only prophecy on America and Britain is that they got to take us back to our land, and we're going to rule over our oppressors. So that's it. That's the thing. So keep your mask on, because they don't tell them when this thing going to stop. Because they went too far. They overpunished us. You know, God let them babysit us for our disobedience, but they went over and killed the baby and abused the baby. And so God's going to pay them back. So stand still and see the salvation of God. You know. Now, don't go around and running back down there and voting for this man. He already killed all your little black babies. He done voted to kill your little black babies. He done voted to put your boys, make them marry one another like Solomon and Gomorrah. Made your daughters marry the daughters like Solomon and Gomorrah. So you got to just be still and see the salvation of God. All right, so that's what it is. That's what it is. So I advise you to keep your mask on, your gloves on, and stand still and wait on the Most High, because He said, I'm sending a liver out of Zion that's going to turn away ungodliness from Jacob, and all Israel, all black Israel shall be saved. The whole 12 tribes and the two who Jacob gave his name to, who is Ephraim and Manasseh, which is makes it 14 tribes. We all going back home. It's going to be a wonderful going home. Now, we ain't going nowhere until, listen to me thoroughly, until Yahshua show up. So be still. Don't go around here wrestling with the police, getting killed, burning up something where you got to go to bed at night. Quit doing dumb stuff and wait on the Lord, for he that wait on the Lord shall renew his strength and mount up like an eagle and run and not get weary and walk and not faint. So quit all this dumb stuff, fighting and carrying on, shooting one another, killing up one another. You got a liver getting ready to deliver you out of this nonsense and take you home. Now, don't be in a grave. Be walking around. They killed another black man the other day in prison, put a plastic bag over his face. He said, I can't breathe. He wasn't in there for killing nobody, just in there for some foolishness. And he got sick, and he said, I can't. They said, well, we're going to make sure you don't spit on us. We're going to put a plastic bag over your face. And he said, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. And he's dead now. Now, the charged the guards, there was 6 of them all together, they charged them for murder. Because the man told them he couldn't breathe. They don't care about what you talking about. You just like talking like a baby trying to ask for some milk. You know what I mean? They don't pay you no attention. I told you to stay out the penitentiary and stay out the hospital. Those are 2 things I told you to do a long time ago. Stay out of these prisons and stay out of these hospitals. Because you may end up dead. So quit stealing and doing dumb stuff. Cause yourself to be in trouble. Listen, God done gave you somebody that know you, that know how to get you, help you. Listen to me. We're doing a book anyway. I'm gonna if the Lord works loudly for me out when I get through with the book, I'm gonna make sure each one of y'all get one if you want one, with no charge. You know what I mean? Telling you about yourself. Quit hurting yourself. Quit letting your boy kill somebody else. 70,000 black boys die every year in these big cities. New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, Poland, all these big old cities shooting and killing one another. We kill one another more than the police kill us. We kill more one another than the police kill us. So you got to quit killing your little brother and quit wrestling with the police and stand still and see the salvation of God. That's what I'm telling you. All right, so we're going to move on now because we got the thing set up now. We're dealing with the holy time. In other words, the New Testament church had holy days. And one of the days they had was called the Feast of Trumpets. The Feast of Trumpets. Now that Feast of Trumpets is going to be going on September the 19th on a Saturday. It's going to be on a Saturday. It's going to be a high Saturday. A high Sabbath day. We're going to be keeping the Feast of Trumpets. And that's when all the ones that belongs to the church is going to be going back to the church. They're going to let you go back. They're going to let us go back to the church, but keep your mask on. But on the 19th of September, they're going to be going back to church on the 19th. So I want to make that announcement. and that's called the Feast of Trumpets. Now, on the 28th, on a Monday, we're going back and we're going to be on a fast called the Day of Atonement. The Day of Atonement. Now, these days are holy days that in the book of Leviticus, I'm going to read them to you in the Bible. There ain't no made-up days that we made up. There are days that God wants you to gather with Him, inventory time with Him, and He gave you these days so you won't be keeping the devil's days, Christmas, Easter, Halloween, all these wicked days. He gave you holy days and not man days. If you don't keep these days, you're going to be keeping Easter, Halloween, Christmas, 4th of July, New Year in the blessed winter time. But these are days that God gave you. And I'm going to read them to you. But I'm just giving you the date and the month, what's going on now.